Well, welcome back to another video. I'm going to do a number of small steps here in this video. First thing we're going to do is mount or make the ship's wheel and put that on there. We'll do a couple of more metal doors. I think after that we'll probably do the cat's eyes. And yeah, we'll see. There's some other work that's got to be done. I think some trim work, some more small trim pieces to go onto the deck and so on. So yeah, number of different like little tasks. So let's get in and get started here. I've already got all of the pieces prepped for the ship's wheel. These four pieces need to get painted. These will be black, and they've all been primed black, but I'm going to actually put the regular black paint over it, which does a better job of sealing it and everything. These are the wheels themselves are gonna be copper, and then I'll wash them and everything the way we've been doing. This is just the axle that goes in there. Now, one thing I'm adding is I took a piece of dowel, cut a hole through it. This the instructions just have you put this rod through to kind of act as the axle and support and everything, and that's it. And then you put it in place. What I'm going to do instead is like I said, have this dowel. I'm going to put the axle that's going to hold it all together through that, and then I'm going to wrap some rope around it, and can run the rope so that it looks like how it would be on the ship. Again, maybe a detail that you're not really going to be able to see here, but it'll be there nonetheless. So let's go ahead and get started on painting these things. I'm going to start with just a little drop of black paint. Move that out of the way. This, I'm going to use the same darker bronze color that I used before. Alrighty, I think that's pretty good on those. Give them a minute to dry. I don't think I'm actually going to wash them. Um, no point, but I am going to dry brush them with a little bit of brighter copper color to kind of just bring out mostly the handles and some other stuff that's on there. So let's give them a bit, and then I'll come back and do the dry brushing. I think everything is dry here, so Oh, it's kind of hard. I'm trying to see if I can't get the camera to focus. Here in two. There's not much difference right now. Maybe I need a little bit more copper. Let me kind of. Let's see the two now. There, you can definitely see that right, one that I've done the dry brushing on is a little bit brighter, but not an overly bright copper color. So now we'll do the other one here. All right, I think everything's all painted well there. Let me clean the brush, and then yeah, we'll see. I gotta see if I've get some glue ready. Yeah, we'll probably have to use some thin CA for this, I'm thinking. All right, let me go. I'm going to reset here the camera and everything, and then we'll come in and we'll start piecing it together. All right, so let's start putting the pieces onto this. This is actually a piece of scrap that I had. It's a little long. The step calls for this to be 10 millimeters, but I'll be able to clip it down. Once I put everything in place. So the first thing is to do the front part. I'm going to make sure the wheels are lined up with each other, like so. Let's see, that doesn't want to focus on it, but we got a little bit that in there. Put that dowel on. No, that was not quite up. There. Guess it was just because it was so far back from where I was seeing. So everything's looking good. Got a little drop of glue in there, and we'll let it dry. All right, so there you go. We got the wheel done. I'll go. I got to get some of the thread, and I'll show you basically what I'm going to do here to simulate the rope. So let me go get that, and then we'll come back and do that part. Okay, so I've got this rope, and basically all I'm going to do is kind of hold it here, and we're going to give it some wraps around that piece of dowel that I added in there. I'm just going to give it, I don't know, about 5 or 6 wraps here to start. And we'll see if that's enough. I'll grab my tweezers here and just start moving them together a little bit. Just trying to get them to lay in there all kind of nice. Of course, the rope doesn't want to cooperate as much as I would like. I'm kind of getting it here. I think I'm going to need to add a few more, I think, times around here just to kind of fill up that drum a little bit. All right, there we go. I think that's good. You can see what it's going to look like. So now all I'm going to do is take some thin CA and kind of put it over that drum. The one thing it does is this ochre ropes, the CA turns them darker. I noticed it doesn't seem to do it quite so much for the stuff from ropes of scale, but I'm just using the ochre ones in here. Like I said, it's a detail that's barely going to be seen, and so there's no reason to waste the expensive rope in here. So just trying to squeeze and hold it in between these blocks here so I can keep it nice and straight, and then I'll run a little bit of CA down there to keep the rope stiff and nice and straight. Add a little bit more CA in here because I didn't get the underside quite so much. And now I'll just kind of repeat that with the other piece of rope. This one here, I'm just gonna, I think I can set it on there and kind of hold it tight, being careful as much as I can not to glue the rope to those things. So all right, you can probably see as I'm working there, those ropes are pretty stiff at this point, but they're nice and straight and pointed down, and that's all I need to do. Just add a little bit more CA there at the bottom to make sure everything is nice and secure, and then we'll take the scissors and kind of clip them down. Looking pretty good. All right, let's cut these. And I'm cutting them basically right at the lengths of the supports, so that the idea is that this will glue the whole thing to the deck, and it'll appear as those ropes are going down, and on the real ship they'd go through little holes to go underneath. So let's see if I can get the camera to focus here. There we go. And you can kind of see it. I think it was a lot of work for a little detail that's barely going to be visible, if at all. But all right, well, let's go and give me a chance here to reset, and we'll come back and we'll actually mount the wheel along with a couple pieces of metal doors and stuff that are going to be on there. All right, I'm ready to start gluing everything in back here. Um, Not sure how much you'll be able to see. My hand's getting in the way. Um, the first thing that's going to go in is the ship's wheel. This I'll just get in position, and then I'm just going to use some real thin CA to kind of tack it in place. Fortunately, you can use all of the planking to kind of center it up. Okay. They're pretty good. Now we've got these two doors here to kind of put in on either side of that. Just going to put a little bit of thicker CA on the back. Got the first one in. And I had already taken and kind of figured out exactly where I wanted these things to go. I just knew which planks to kind of center them on. There we go. All right, and since we've got those things put in, we can go ahead and put the FIF rails in that we didn't do in the last video. Hold this in place here for probably a good 10 seconds or more. Make sure it's really secured to the deck. All right, that one looks good. It's not going to pop off. All right. Alrighty, looking good. All right, so let's go and we get a chance here to kind of reset everything, and then we'll come back and do the next step. So, okay, so the next thing we're going to do is add some more stuff up here at the bow. We got two little pieces of wood. There's some trim pieces. I don't know why they didn't have us do it back when we first put everything in, but it was up here. But anyway, so we got to do that now, and then we'll put a couple of the doors on, and then we're going to work on the cat heads. So for this, I'm just going to use a little bit of white glue. These things are a pretty tight fit, so they'll stay in there, I think, really well. Just need to clean that extra glue out. Right. Oop, I just bumped the camera. Sorry about that. The dangers of having to work around with the camera in front of you. All right. And so got several of these doors and stuff all done and ready, because we're going to put the rest actually up on the poop deck. We'll probably do that towards the end of the video here. There we go. Right, so I actually made the first, of the two cat heads. Not that it's a very difficult thing. That there's only a few holes, and they're going to go in like this. I just got to measure it out, and I'm not quite sure if I've got the angle right. We've got to go in and actually file kind of the those two pillars that it's running through kind of flat to actually to get it to fit. So, so I got to go and we'll make another one of these and come back. Going to paint them. At this stage, it says just to mount them, and later on, it shows that basically they're gold from about here on out around there. So I'm just going to go, like a lot of the stuff, I'll paint it actually before I put it on. Like I said, we'll get it in there, gets the angle. I got to still drill 2 holes in here, and then there's going to be 2 pins that'll go and kind of hold it in place. Like I said, it's kind of like this. Oh, it does seem like it's sticking out kind of far. I got to figure out how far in it goes. Look at the plans and stuff. So anyway, let me go get reset and start making the other one here, and then we'll come back and we'll mount these. See, it started giving a nice kind of rounded part here. All right, got both of them made. Now I just got to go file the other side, and we can go and, well, drill the holes into these, and then we'll get them mounted and put on the ship. All right, well, you can see here I got the two cat heads done and painted. So now it's just a matter of mounting them on here. I've already drilled the two holes. So I'm just going to use some white glue for these. It's a pretty tight fit in there. So once I push them through the railing and stuff, they're going to be held in place. And this gives me just a little bit of working time, probably a little bit of a stronger bond than the CA would. So I'm just going to stick them through here. And go and measure. I looked it up. They need to, at least according to the one-to-one plans, they show them sticking out past the rail 35 millimeters. So I'm holding it, get it position here. Close, but not quite. All right, so now let me drill through. Like I said, I already drilled the holes in the cat head, so now it's just a matter of drilling a hole into the deck. Well, that didn't work out quite as well as I had hoped. You can see it's moving. So anyway, but the hole is for the first hole anyway is at the right location. So I'm going to be able to put a pin in there, put it in that hole, and I know it's going to be right. But we'll probably have to wait for the glue to dry in order to drill that other hole. All right. So while that glue's drying, we'll get the other one in. Okay. So in addition to the cat heads, I painted these two metal pieces. These are supports that are going to go between the rails and the cat head, and they basically just hold it up. So I'm just going to use a little bit of CA on the top and bottom, and that'll help actually hold that cat head, I think, while the that white glue dries. And just kind of get it, put it on the rail, get it up, kind of pull it into place. Make sure it's centered underneath the cat head's beam. There we go. I think I got that one adjusted right. Now we'll put the other one in. This one's a little bit high, so I just need to file just a fraction of a millimeter off of the bottom to get it to fit right. Not sure how much was of my audio was recorded there. I looked down, had to swap mics because for some reason this one that I had went dead. I got to check the charge on it. So I'm sure in this video you're gonna have a section here without any audio, and I apologize for that. Just a touch of CA on the pin. There we go. So I need to put a second pin in each one of those. Like I said, I'll probably just let that glue dry a little bit more. I think this is a good spot to end this video. I thought we would get to the railing and stuff on the poop deck, but got sidetracked with all of this stuff here up on the bow. So in the next video, we'll work back at the stern and get some of the details up there. Like I said, there's some more a door and window to glue into place, and then there's the railing and stuff around that deck. So again, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. See you in the next video.